What's up, guys? This is Jesse at Jeweler's Advantage, and today we have quite the presentation for you if you are in jewelry sales. And it is a jungle out there in jewelry sales. So many of you know that I got a lot of my experience on 47th Street in New York City, where I trained sales reps. So today I'm actually giving you the same initial presentation I ever gave to beginner salespeople when they'd be in through the door for the first time at the store, and we were able to transform them essentially into jewelry sales assassins that could sell between 40 and 60 grand in their first month. And that largely happened because the strategy was simple but effective, and that's what you're going to learn today. So today we're here to talk about the 3 voices of jewelry sales. And you're going to find that there are specific stages to the sales process, which many people know, but a lot of people don't know that if you underpin this with certain tonality in your voice, we call this music, dance, and lyrics. That would be the tonality, the tempo, and your word choices. That makes you really effective in jewelry sales. And as long as you know these secrets and this framework, this can help you unlock your own progress in jewelry sales on a much faster timetable. So let's get into it. So in regards to the stages of a jewelry sale, you'll notice that we have sales, negotiation, and closing. And these are underpinned by a specific voice. We have the energetic voice, we have the hypnotic voice, and we have the assertive voice. To help you remember this, think of these as animals. Think of yourself as embodying the energy and personality of this particular animal at this particular stage of the sale. A monkey, if you can think of a monkey in the jungle, they're fun. It's energy. That's what you want to bring to the sales stage of your jewelry sale. Then we think of the cobra for hypnosis. Then we can think of negotiation as a hypnotic stage. You're like the cobra. You're calm, but you're in control. You don't want it to be too emotional during this stage. And then finally, closing, the positive outcome of your negotiation should result in a sale and delivery of jewelry. At this stage, you're calm, you're confident, but assertive, like a tiger. No fear in that part of the sale. You're in charge. But there is an element of calm and power in this mode of the sale. So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into each of these stages. So let's review the stages real quick. Maybe you're brand new to jewelry sales. Maybe you've been doing this for 25 years. But in either case, you are about to get something new out of this process and see this with some new eyes. So for those that are beginners, we want to think of this as 3 stages, the first stage being sales. During sales, you have 3 goals. Number 1, you want to build trust and rapport. People buy from people that they like, know, and trust, and you need to establish that feeling of goodwill with your prospect in order to get anywhere. They're only going to buy from you if they like you. From there, you're just asking questions. You're like a detective. Back in my car sales days, I asked a question to a manager and I said something like, I feel like we're detectives finding out what they want. And that manager said, yes, that is exactly what I want you to think. You're a detective. So that is what you need to be doing to identify the customer needs and their timetable. You're really just asking, what kind of jewelry are you looking for today? And are you looking to do business today? You're trying to determine if this is worth your time as well. So that's a big part of the sales stage. And then finally, you start presenting value and expertise to respond to what the customer is saying and asking about. To get to negotiation and get to a point where the customer is going to take this seriously, you need to be able to position yourself as an expert because they're buying jewelry from a whole number of people and they have lots of options. And you need to position yourself as the one that they feel the best about and the one that seems to really know how this goes. So you're an expert. So always be looking for opportunities to tell stories, whether they're your own personal kind of high value stories that show that you know what you're doing. And also bring in the fun facts element of the jewelry industry. It's a big trivia game after all. And that would be how you present value of the piece and show that you're an expert in this craft. If this goes according to plan, you're going to have the opportunity to give the customer the illusion of choice. So whether this is selling ready-made inventory or you're narrowing down ideas for customs, you would be potentially using AI to drum up ideas to show what this custom could be, or maybe you're selling from inventory. The point being that you want to be presenting choices to the customer that they get to make, but you don't want to overdo it. Never go beyond 3 choices. So in this example, we have somebody that is clearly an engagement customer. Clearly they want it to be canary yellow, and clearly they want it to be yellow gold. But right now we're determining what the shape of that stone might be. In this case, the customer can decide, I like the middle one, or I like the one on the left. Maybe we could combine features. I like the prongs of the Asher cut. Is there any other way that we can use prongs in that way? Or I like the finish of the oval cut version where it seems to be a little bit more satin finish. Is there a way for us to combine these elements? You as the expert, find a way to say, yes, we can combine these elements and start future framing the sale. At that stage, once they're making this decision and you're narrowing down the choices like a funnel, you're preparing yourself for negotiation. You're going to be able to start guiding the customer through the terrain towards the close. So once you're at that stage, they've made their choice. They've decided, hey, I really like this Asher cut, but maybe we're combining these other elements. Then you're just finding out how to lead the project with the customer and get money in-house and produce the piece. So we're officially at negotiation at this point. Your key 3 sticking points in negotiation would be that you want to be asking leading questions. So if then type statements. If I can do this, then will you be ready to do the deposit today? That's negotiating. So a lot of people might get intimidated by the idea of a negotiation because they have a preconceived idea of negotiating being kind of this aggressive thing. It's really not. You're maintaining rapport this whole time. You should feel good with the customer while you're negotiating. You're just trying to lead them down a path to you doing business together. So the second point for that would be to future frame with emotion and logic. The customer is going to be asking questions, and you can answer those questions in the context of a future event of you working together. And you want to tie in the emotion of their positive outcome of getting this jewelry because you're selling them the future and the future feeling of them enjoying this jewelry or giving this jewelry as a gift. And then you want to underpin that good emotion, which comes first and foremost, with logic. Well, it's going to take about 3 weeks. This is how I'm going to source the product. I'm going to call you on this day. Then we're going to deliver on this day about. Give me a little bit of lead time because this can be complicated, so you can buy yourself windows of time. The point being that you want to sell them the future and show that this is real with logic. And then finally, you secure commitment as a choice. So if we can do all that and we're going to get this done in 3 weeks so that you can propose, are you ready to go today? Does this all sound good to you? Sound good. You're asking questions and getting them to think and engage their senses and then buy in on their own. At that point, you're at the phase where you start blending into closing from negotiation. It should be like a seamless transition. It's not like, hey, we're selling, now time to negotiate. Well, now I'm going to close you. No, it's phasing into these different stages. So you'll naturally start feeling the negotiation become a close. Okay? It's a phase. So at closing, there's 3 more things that you need to really consider. So that is going to be that you need to transfer certainty. Certainty is your feeling that this is the best choice for them. We're not trying to game these people to get jewelry sales. You really truly need to believe that working with you is their best choice for the outcome that they want. They're unsure. they might not know you. This might be your first time talking to this person, so they're naturally going to feel a little bit shaky on this ground. You have to be the one that's certain. So that feeling of certainty that you're feeling, you need to transmit to them through your voice that this is going to go the way it's going to go, and you are confident. So that's transferring certainty. You might need to overcome the final objection. There's an idea in sales and negotiation in general called a black swan. That's the idea that there's something going on in the sale that you don't know what it is, and all of them have one unique, weird little element that can prevent you from closing. Ultimately, it comes down to closing the sale by getting the customer to buy in on their own in a way that you facilitate, and it's their choice. Just a couple of things to remember when closing. Number one, not all money is good money. There's fraud in this industry, and there's some customers that you might not want to engage with because they could be a nightmare to work with. So remember that not all money is good money. And then two, the deal is not truly closed until the customer has jewelry in hand and says that they are keeping it. So you're never going to have a jewelry close, even if you sell a piece for $100,000, you're never going to have the opportunity to have that Super Bowl dance, that Super Bowl touchdown dance that you fantasize about in sales. It's not real. You're never going to be at a stage where you're safe to do that until after the customer has had it for maybe even a couple of weeks and you're out of the bounds of your refund policy. That would be the actual place where you could celebrate your sale, and you will have forgotten it and been on to the next few by then. So get the jewelry in their hands, make sure they're happy, and stay humble. So those are the 3 stages of a jewelry sale, but this is where it gets interesting. Every stage of the sale is underpinned by a specific voice, and you'll notice that I'm not just saying tonality. There's music, there's dance, and there's lyrics. Music is your tonality, dance is the tempo, which becomes very important when you're on the phone and you can't communicate body language, so you're communicating through the speed or slowness of your speech. With your tempo, music, dance, and lyrics is your word choice. Words carry power. So there is a feeling associated with any word. You can experiment with this, but you're going to find that there is this kind of musical connection. A lot of you know that in a past life, I was a musician in Nashville. This is something that really connected with me for sales, and I found that it is kind of a secret code to winning in sales with jewelry. So for the sales stage, you're going to want to have an energetic voice. For negotiation, you want to transition into more of a hypnotic tone. And then for closing, you're assertive. So let's get into this a little bit deeper because it is pretty fun. So with energetic voice, imagine that a new customer has made their way into your world. They're either on the phone or they're on the other end of a glass case with jewelry in it. The voice will remain the same. For energetic voice, you're happy to be talking about jewelry. Maybe you're maintaining an energy level that's just above the prospect. You don't want to be coming in acting like you're all hyped up with somebody that has a naturally calm personality. So with energetic voice, just remember that you're there to enjoy the process. Buying jewelry feels good. It's fun. So remember that your energetic voice is just a little bit above the prospect, so that way you can lead the interaction. If they're pretty sedated and slow, you can still inject some energy into your voice in a way that won't intimidate them. So in that way, we're kind of like the ape in the jungle. We're playful, we're having fun, we love jewelry, they love jewelry because they're talking to somebody that loves jewelry. You see? Then we need to transition into the hypnotic voice. And the hypnotic voice feels good and it's relaxing to hear. When we start negotiating, we want to bring the energy level down and just make it feel like a nice, calm, safe space. You can allow pockets of silence, but it's calm and it's soothing. And you want to make sure that this transition occurs naturally from an energetic state, and we're talking about jewelry and we're having a good time, and the customer doesn't even really notice that we're starting to slow down a little bit here. And it's starting to feel calm. It's starting to feel like a safe environment. That's the hypnotic voice. We're allowed to allow some silence. Let the customer feel. Let them think. You're here to answer the questions. This is the person they want to work with. And then we get to a place where we need to take control, and we have the assertive voice. This is where we're transferring certainty. It's just complete confidence in yourself. Notice how my energy level came up just a little bit, but I am confident that this is what you need to be doing. I'm the person you want to work with. That level of confidence. And you need to truly believe it. You need to believe it in your heart and your mind that this is the best choice for the person on the other end of the phone, on the other end of the screen, on the other end of the counter. So once you can truly understand that these stages of sales, negotiation, and closing are underpinned by the music of your own personality and delivery, you can develop your own style of sales within this framework, and you are going to clean up when it comes to sales. Having an actual plan makes you really effective. There's this great quote that an idiot with a plan can beat a genius without a plan. And when it comes to sales, regular people, regular everyday people can learn this framework and be extremely effective, especially in an all walks of life type industry like jewelry. So that is the 3 voices of jewelry sales. My name is Jesse Korby at Jewelers Advantage, and we will see you in the next one.